You know, there's a handful of anthology horror films that have made its mark in the horror genre. And today, I decided to go over one that came out a couple of years ago. Kind of went over my head. Caught it this weekend. It's called Nightmare Cinema. Right here on Horror and Coffee. Let's talk about it. If you like what you see here, please consider subscribing. Tap on that bell for future notifications for future Horror and Coffee content. You guys are great. Give me a like also. Those like buttons mean everything to me. It's greatly appreciated. All right, let's talk about Nightmare Cinema. This came out in 2018. All right, and it stars a lot of people. It stars Richard Chamberlain. It stars Eric Nelson. I mean, there's quite a few people in this. The main, most famously well-known star in this movie is Mickey Rourke. We all know Mickey Rourke. He's the guy who always shows off his big muscular chest and everything almost. But how about this for a thought? He's actually the main baddie, okay? He is this character called the Projectionist. Here's how this goes. It's kind of, think Tales from the Crypt. Think Creepshow. It's something like that, okay? There are 5 stories written by 5 directors, and each story has an element of horror that we're all familiar with in one way or another. It just goes right into it in the beginning. Like this girl is arguing with her boyfriend over the phone, and she comes across this theater that has her name on it. Like one of those good old theaters. I'm not talking about those big like AMC Cineplex films. I'm talking about those good old-fashioned movie theaters that we all grew up on, especially us older folks. With just a name there and go in and whatever. She's kind of like shown a place to sit by an unknown person. In this case, I would think it's the Mickey Rourke, the projectionist. And she sits, and all of a sudden, the screen turns on. It's an empty movie theater. And it plays in front of her the worst nightmare she's ever had. It comes to life. Now, this kind of repeats itself 4 more times throughout the movie. That's what makes it an anthology film. And I really found myself liking this movie. 5 different people show, and sometimes there's a couple of characters when you see them go into there's one that you see this like priest walk in, and I'm like, oh, I know what this is about. You know, it screams that kind of horror. We know what's that coming, and it was. But I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to do that. I want you to see it. I want you to see. If you have Shudder, check it out. It's on there now. But it is great. I liked, and then Mickey Rourke's character that came in and interacted with a couple of these people from here and there. But when you see these 5 films, they have different aspects, subgenres, if I can say, of the horror genre that we can all relate to, that we've seen from one time. You know, one kind. For instance, of horror film was, to me, in a way, reminiscent of The Thing. It's that kind of horror, but it was kind of The Thing meets Friday the 13th. It was pretty cool. Then there was others that was more psychological. Others that were more torment. Others more supernatural. And we see these little stories in this film, and I liked how they put this together. This actually got a over 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's actually well acclaimed. I'm really surprised I didn't catch this film before. I liked it. I would actually buy this movie. That's how much I liked it. It's straight up horror. Some of it is a little quirky. Some of but you're gonna expect that in horror films. But it was really good. You know, I've always said that horror films is a way to escape, right? You go to the movies, you check out this terrible thing happening. For the most part, terrible, sometimes fun, of things going on that are really unbelievable to all these people, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, this is crazy. I'm glad that's not real in real life, right? Like, this is somebody's nightmare. Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of even the title of this film, and that is the goal of the projectionist. You know what he does? Apparently, he's been collecting people's nightmares in actual film reels as it plays. and he puts it away in some evil vault somewhere. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. So if you want to see like these short horror flicks of people that walk into the theater to see it, you gotta go to the vault and see and pick out what you want to check out. This is kind of like Hollywood. This is actually kind of like the film industry in a crazy way. It's like, yeah, well, here's this kind of horror, here's that kind of horror. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. I'm gonna give Nightmare Cinema 3 coffee cups. It's really cool. It's fun. It's not like the greatest horror film I've ever seen. Of course not. It's not like one of those that really leave you messed up. I would have given it more than for that purpose. But in this case, if you want to, this is a good Halloween movie. Like if you want to see a horror movie on Halloween, aside from the usual contenders, this is definitely an up and running contender to watch on Halloween. It's a lot of fun. I really suggest you see it. So there it is, people. It's a quick review, but I didn't want to delve deep into it because I really didn't want to give away too much. Why don't you watch it and then come back here and talk to me? Let me know what you think of Nightmare Cinema. This is Ralph Perez, Horror and Coffee. Take care. Every Friday, I go on at my buddy Alex's channel, Levels of Geeks. Every Friday night at 10 p.m., we do horror files. We not really watch, but we talk about horror, different aspects of horror, and Alex and I get into the files. We investigate these cases of different kinds of subgenres of horror movies that we love, and we got to get information about so we can put it in the files. Let me know if you want to join us every Friday. You can comment below. You can go to Alex's channel, Levels of Geeks, where Horror Files is played every Friday night live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Come, check us out. Join us. Take care.